Also tonight, there is a $100 million offer on the table from the Buffalo Catholic Diocese to settle open cases with sexual abuse survivors. We've learned that to afford this 9-figure payout, the diocese may be looking toward its real estate portfolio. Documents filed by the church mention the Catholic Center and the former Christ the King Seminary campus by name. This settlement offer upsetting for some survivors who feel it would take away from their day in court. To understand their perspective, the 7 News I-team met with one survivor and an attorney today. Plus, you'll hear from a real estate agent about those properties possibly hitting the market.
We in the committee believe that they're capable of paying north of 5 times that amount.
As the Diocese of Buffalo faces 900 Child Victims Act lawsuits and claims alleging sexual abuse of children, we're hearing from both attorneys and survivors, sharing their displeasure of its bankruptcy negotiation tactics. Attorney Stacey Benson represents survivors with Jeff Anderson and Associates.
They're talking numbers and putting numbers like this out in the public. It's a PR stint, and it's also not really reflecting their true ability to compensate the survivors for what they've been through.
That initial number, $100 million, is the same as what the Syracuse Diocese paid to half the number of victims in its bankruptcy. Survivor Wayne Bordel tells me he believes it will do little to properly compensate victims.
The way that the abuse changed my life, it changed my life forever. And if I got a percentage of whatever amount it was that was going to be offered, you know, what they're talking about now, I just think it's kind of a slap in the face.
He accused Father Robert Conlon of sexually abusing him 40 years ago at St. Mary's Parish when he was a teenager.
There's a lot of tears, there's a lot of emotions, there's a lot of impact, you know, beyond yourself as the victim to your family.
In a statement to me, a diocese spokesperson wrote, quote, "We want to illustrate our good faith to the court and to the public with making this initial offer of $100 million that would originate from the Catholic community, including the diocese, parishes, and affiliated Catholic entities."
Trying to get this case resolved involves us going back to a mediation that's privileged and confidential, and it's involving the survivors. The survivors cannot be cut out of this process, and if they are, then there's going to be a real challenge in getting a plan approved to get the diocese out of reorganization.
For the I-Team, Sean Mickey, 7 News, Buffalo.
I'm Krista Moran, checking in on what could happen with some of the diocese properties should they be put up for sale. I spoke with Robert McDonald, president of Hunt Commercial Real Estate, about this. He says the current Catholic Center on Main Street in Goodell is currently set up as an office. McDonald tells me the bad news is that the current office market is almost non-existent, so he can see this property being converted into something more.
To look at that and say, hey, you know, can I put in 100, 150 apartments or condos? They have ample parking. It's close to the corridor. They're not going to have a problem selling it to the right conversion user.
McDonald tells me should the center be put up for sale, he can see it being on the market for 3 to 5 months. Then there could be a call for offer and a bid situation for the property. Bottom line, he says this building with deep history sits on a fantastic block right near Buffalo's Theater District and Medical Corridor. Krista Moran, 7 News.